go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar.
It's time to quit while we're ahead. Don't think like that. I will love you endlessly. If you don't believe, don't you be like that. I will love you forever. If you don't believe in me, yeah. You could be with anyone. I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around. You could be with anyone. I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around, but you
Oops, and there was a problem with my microphone. So for the first 5 seconds you didn't hear me, but welcome to my channel. And so I would, like I was saying, but you didn't hear me, I'm trying to figure out something to do because of this pandemic that is ongoing. Everybody's in lockdown, everybody is staying home, so we're trying to figure out a way at something to do productively. And I was thinking, well, what should I do on a daily basis? Well, I'm already doing a lot of technical analysis and investment analysis on a daily basis, so I was thinking, why not do it live for you guys to see, and maybe it will make you feel more interested in cryptocurrency and investment trading and so on. And while the whole pandemic is ongoing, it's better to spend your time doing something useful. So I just wanted to welcome you all. I know that most likely I won't have a lot of viewers at start, so I hope things will be. Oh, and somebody shared it. Maybe I will. I have to shut down the notifications, and yeah, I still have to set up all of this. I just did this in like 1 or 2 days, the whole setup, so bear with me. There will be some errors, there will be some issues, but we'll clear it up along the way. So the plan is to do a live stream basically on a daily basis, every time around 7:30 p.m. GMT plus 8. And yeah, let's go ahead and start what I always start with my day, and that's basically checking how things are going in the world with this COVID virus. And there's this pretty cool site that basically tracks everything in terms of like confirmed cases, reported deaths, and recovery. So I'm checking at these numbers and seeing like, yeah, you can actually do analysis on it. On TradingView you can have the charts as well to see if we are having like a slowdown of confirmed cases and reported deaths and so on, if if we're slowing down this pandemic, hopefully. But right now, as you can see, the United States on a daily basis, they do have a lot of testing. So on a daily basis, it's going up really fast. They are currently leading, but also they are a very big country, plus they have a lot of testing. A lot of other countries are in a very bad shape as well, as you know, Spain, Italy, Germany as well. But as you can see, the amount of reported deaths is very low, so Germany is doing pretty well. So as you know, I think this pandemic is going to be a very big problem, not only for your health, it's a health crisis, but also for the economy. A lot of people are not able to be working, not as blessed as myself to be just working online, or possibly to be working online. So I hope if you guys are one of those people, if you're just stuck at home, please just try to do something positive and learn something. And I hope this can maybe intrigue you or help you a little bit as well. So let's go on and start with what I always start up with, is our Bitcoin. So let me go. I'll pick up another chart first. Maybe I'll make up a new chart that will make things easier to start off with. So let me clear this off first. Okay. And maybe I'll clear this as well, all those lines. Only this one I'll leave. And let's go to our BTC USD chart on Bitstamp, because we have more history on that. So basically, whenever you're looking at an asset, what you want to know is, in the long term, on the macro scale, is it a bullish or a bearish period? And as you know, of course, with this pandemic that is ongoing, a lot of things are very bearish, and you know, Bitcoin is nothing different. So I don't expect, although a lot of people are hoping that Bitcoin is going to be the hedge, and similar like gold, you know, decoupling from the stock market. Right now, it's definitely not decoupling. So although I believe that in the future it might decouple and become less correlated with the economy, the stocks, I mean, but right now that's not the case. So what I always do is very, very simple. You go on the monthly charts, you put in the EMA 21. This is the EMA 21, as you can see. This is the yellow line, and you see if the price is above or below the yellow line. So as you can see here, right now, after we had like a major correction, as you can see, we had a close below the yellow line, and right now we are still below that yellow line. So what does that mean? That most likely in the next coming months, I don't think, although a lot of people are thinking because of the halving that we're gonna have a very good period, as long as the price is below the 21 monthly average, monthly EMA, I'm very, very skeptic that we are going to see a bullish couple of months. So let's go back into the past, because the past is what technical analysis is, and see what it means. So as you can see here in 2018, we, after being above all the time above this yellow line, we broke down here in November, and as you can see, it took us 1 to 3 months before we bottomed out, and then 3 months again before we finally pushed back up and above that yellow line, and we had a very good period, as you can see, for a couple of months. So this, to reach the bottom here, we got 3 months, and so we go back in time a little bit longer, and as you can see here, over here in 2014, we broke below that yellow line and below the 21 moving average, and it took us 1, 2, 3, 4 months before we basically bottomed out at this point here. Bottomed out here, and then it took us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A long time, 8 months before we actually went back up above that yellow line. But as you can see, once we went back up above that yellow line, it was a very, very good period. So what I'm trying to say is, like, in the past, it has shown us that most of the times, once we have closed below that yellow line, it takes us 3 to 4 months at minimum to form a bottom. So if people are asking me, like, do you think that this is the bottom? It potentially could be a bottom. This 3,800 where we dropped to, it could have been a bottom. Do I think realistically that most likely is going to be the bottom? I don't really know. Nobody can tell. But what I do believe is that if you look at the past, it takes us 2-3 months before a year and to bottom, and then 2-3 months to get back up on a decent above the yellow line. So what that means for me is, like, in the next 2-3 months, if we are very, very lucky. But let's face it, guys, I mean, after this whole pandemic, it will most likely take us a little bit longer than that. So, but let's be positive and let's think about it, and let's say it takes us 3 months that we bottom out, right? So why would you be thinking about buying right now if you kind of know that this price is most likely going to be either going a little bit lower? So right now, I don't think it's a very good idea to be buying Bitcoin. although I'm a very proponent, I'm very, very, very happy and very optimistic about Bitcoin in the future. I'm talking about, over a couple of years. But right now, if you look at the charts, and also, although that this is very macro level, we can see like, yeah, it's below the 21 on the monthly moving average. So for the next couple of months, what I'll be thinking about is the trend, and the trend is down, of course. So I'll be following that trend, and as a trader, I'll be thinking about, of course, shorting positions. It's just as simple as that. So I wanted to go back into the 2-day chart to keep things still in a very macro perspective way. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 2 more EMAs. So I'll add 2 more EMAs. Click. And the first EMA is going to be the, oops, I deleted that one, sorry, the EMA 55. And the second EMA that I'm going to add is going to be the 200 EMA. The 200 EMA, there we go. And maybe I'll make the lines a little bit thicker so you can see it more clearly. Boom. So the blue line, and this one, maybe I'll make it orange so it's easier to see. And here, a little bit thicker as well. So let's look at this, and I'll remove the the yellow line for now. Click here. So let's focus on these two lines only. So what I've kept saying is like on the macro level, every time we have a bullish cross, as you can see here, when the orange line is crossing over the blue line, we have a continuation of our bullish period. So you can see here we bottomed out, and then here we broke above, and then we had the bullish cross, and you can see here a very nice bullish pump that went to our previous local high. Over here we have a bearish cross. The orange line is breaking below the blue line, and as you can see, we held the price below that orange line for a while, and then it broke, and then we formed our bottom. And we can go back in time as well, a very long time, as you can see here. Once again we have a bullish cross here, the orange line breaking above the blue line, and as you can see, we went on a bull market for like a couple of years. So that was a very good period for Bitcoin. So all I'm saying is, on the 2-day chart, I take a lot of importance in that cross, because most of the times whenever we get that cross, it gives us like, the perspective for the next once again 3-4 months. As you can see, when we crossed here until here, it was from 10 September to May. So yeah, that's like a 6 months, some give or take, that we went on a very bad period. So what do we see now? A couple of days ago, I've checked the chart, and we can clearly see that we have another bearish cross here, the orange line crossing down on the blue. So once again, that basically tells me everything in the macro perspective, that most likely, this is all probabilities, of course, most likely in the next 3-4 months, we will not have a very good price action in terms of like price. And people have been quite bullish the last couple of days, because as you can see, the price went from here all the way back up here, which is a very nice very nice range. So if you look from here till what we hit our top here, that's a 94% increase of the price. The problem is, we had this bearish cross. So what usually happens is, whenever you have a cross, the price tends to be correcting up towards that cross first, and then on the macro perspective it gets rejected, and then the price dumps down. So as you can see here, we have a bearish cross here. The price pumps a little bit back up here to this price line, and then it gets dumped down. So a little bit the same here. The price pumps back up towards that bearish cross, and then what I'm expecting is a dump down once again. So nothing that great of a news for the next couple of months, I'm afraid. But of course, like I said, things can change very quickly. But that's what I'm seeing for now, for the next couple of months at least. That doesn't mean that we won't have any bounces on the way down, but that's a very bad sign, to be honest. Another thing that we can see is this: while this price is very clearly going up, the problem is that the volume is going down. So usually that means a lot of weakness in the market when price is going up but the volume is going down. That's not a reversal pattern. When you want to see, what you want to see in a reversal pattern is that the price is going up but also the volume is going up. So a good example would be, of course, in the past, when we can see here the price is going up here in a reversal pattern, right? And we can see here in the volume, as you can see here, the volume is also going up. So that's basically what you want to see when the market is reversing. Another example, we can go back into our previous and our previous cross. As you can see here, once again the price is going up, and then we can also see that the volume here is going up as well, but obviously it's not as much as before, because I mean, in the past there was a lot less trading and volume, of course, but here similar thing. You can see the volume is picking up while the price is going up. This is a very bullish sign. So that's basically what I'm saying. I've been telling everybody, be very cautious with this pump, because most likely we're going to get rejected very soon, and because the volume just keeps dropping, and that's definitely not a good sign. And today we had that moment where we basically dropped. So I'm gonna go back on the daily chart. This is the chart that I've been showing most people, and that's the daily chart. And you can see here, this is the rising, some call it a wedge, some call it, but for me it's more like a channel rather than a wedge. Basically it's the same thing, because the result is going to be the same. And yesterday I told everybody that we have to be very careful of this level here, because we touched that line 7.1k twice, and if we touch that line on the third time, most likely it's going to break. And that's basically what happened yesterday, I mean today. And then we touched this daily moving EMA yellow line, the EMA 21, as you can see perfectly here, and we have a little bounce here. Does it mean that we'll immediately going to break? Most likely not. Do I think that we'll have a little bit more of continuation down? Most likely yes. So I've put my next support here, which is around 7,750, something like that. So I think during this weekend, today, tomorrow, we'll most likely going to hit this zone here, and most likely make another fake dead cat bounce more upwards again, and then finally break this rising wedge here. So over the next week, once again, I don't think it's going to be very good for Bitcoin. I think we're going to have a pullback, at least towards the next support level that I've drawn here, which is the 6.4k level. So next week most likely we'll be seeing 6.4k. That's what I'm expecting for now. What else can happen is that as long as we are still holding this yellow line, there's always a chance that Bitcoin can go up. The problem is, as you can see here, we have a lot of resistance here on this top channel. So even if we hit back up, where I think 7.8k to 8k range, this green box here, is a possibility, as long as we are still holding this rising channel. That's a possibility as well, but for me that's more like an opportunity for shorting shorting the market, because I don't think that it will go much higher than that. So that's for now. That's for what I'm thinking right now. In the more short term, we can break this. If we most likely break this channel, this rising wedge here over the next couple of days, then most likely we will end up here for another small bounce at the 6.4k level. If we manage to hold this support line, I can see another push back up towards the 7.8k, which is, or 7.8k to 8k. But for now, the probabilities are on the lower end because we have broken this important support level right here. So I just wanted to go on the shorter time frame, which is the 4-hour chart, and you can see here right now it's really hovering here below all these two EMA lines, and most likely I'm expecting for very short term a little bit more down towards this support level here, this zone here, and then bounce back up here a little bit, and then break down to this 6.4k level. That's what I think is going to happen. But of course, there's always a chance that we go up to this 7.8k to 8k line here, and that will only be confirmed once we can re-break this important 7.8k, 7.1k line, because basically what was support is now becoming resistance. So if this the price over the next couple of days manages to close some candles above 7.1k, then you know things might look a lot better now, lot better in the next couple of days, but the probabilities are quite on the low end. For me, the most probable situation will be that we will go a little bit lower today, tomorrow, until 7.6750, somewhere around there. This zone here, because there's a lot of support here, as you can see. So this somewhere around this zone here. I'll make it green. Yep. Okay. So around 6.750, around there. I think we're gonna have a small bounce, and then we'll reevaluate from there. But yep, things in the macro are not looking that great. So as a trader, it's pretty easy to be thinking about shorting this market rather than longing, because as you know, you should not be too emotional about the price, as long as we as a trader can put yourself in a good spot. We will be able to make money and be able to profit. So this is what I'm thinking, very short term, most likely 6.750 along the way, a little bit lower here, and then a small bounce back up. And if we manage to close some candles above this important 7.1k line, then we can reevaluate, but most likely we will get rejected from this spot once again and really break through this rising wedge. So that's basically what I have for Bitcoin. I think that's the most probable situation. Today is Eastern, so there's no trading on the stock market, but I just wanted to tell you guys that the stock market has been very correlated with Bitcoin. When the stock market went on this huge pump, also Bitcoin went on this nice uptrend as well. So I just wanted to take a look a little bit at our S&P futures, and as you can see here, we have a very similar pattern as Bitcoin, where we have a very nice push right now at around the EMA 55, which is my green line here. So I actually think for the S&P, we will have probably a little push up higher. Why do I think that's a probability? Is because I will put my resistance line here. So that was our previous support line, and I think that's a good horizontal here. 1 second. I'll make it a full line, and I'll make it red. So And that's where I think that will somewhere around this area that will most likely will get rejected. So that's also not very positive, but let's see. But yeah, that's what I think. Around this area is for me a very good shorting position as well for the S&P, because I think, like I said, this whole run is not very not very let me make a drawing here. So this is a very similar rising channel as well, or a rising wedge here, as you can see, for the S&P. And so I think even if we go a little bit down and a little bit higher, once we break this channel, we're gonna go most likely a lot lower. That's what I'm thinking in the next couple of months, because this is stocks, right? So it moves a little bit slower. What we also can do is make a 5 impulse wave here. This is what I'm thinking. This is most likely a third wave. This is most likely our fourth wave. Maybe it will go a little bit higher, and then we'll most likely go down towards, I don't know, somewhere here. Yeah. So that's most likely what I think is going to happen. And also, once again, the volume is telling us that since this rise here, the volume has also been decreasing. So very simple, the same strategy as with Bitcoin. I do think that the S&P is going to be going down another leg lower as well. When will I get when would I be turning bullish? As obviously once we start closing above this red line here. If we can close some candles above this red line, then I'll change my mind that we are maybe not as bearish as I think that we are. But that's basically what I think about the S&P. Let's move over to gold. Gold is a very different case. As you know, gold is at this moment at least a real hedge. When everything went down, gold was the only thing that was going up. So that's the gold chart looks actually very, very positive for now. Definitely, if you look at the monthly chart, as you can see, everything is trending above. Maybe I'll turn off that indicator so it'll be easier for you to see. There. So as you can see, the yellow line, like I keep telling you guys, as long as the price keeps closing above that yellow line, good times are coming. And as you can see, the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, basically since 2018, end of 2018, 2009, beginning of 2019, we've been closing monthly candles above that yellow line. So I don't see things going badly for gold at all. I think this one is going to keep continuing, and most likely will be hitting like 1770 or even 1800 levels pretty soon, I think, in the next couple of months. Because in this financial crisis, recession, people will be trying to hedge their money. So most likely will be going higher on gold. So I'm actually, although I'm not like the biggest fan on gold, I'm way more bullish on gold than on Bitcoin at this moment. Let me be clear. That's what I'm just seeing right now for Bitcoin. Although we have the halving, of course, that is coming up. Here I made this rising wedge from the last couple of weeks, and as you can see here, we dropped out of that rising wedge today, and that was when I basically was pretty much convinced that our local top is most likely here at the 7,473. Although this is not this top here is not confirmed yet. What you're going to be looking for is to find some divergences on the EMA, on the RSI, I mean, So finding some divergence to see if we actually have our local top, yes or no. But right now we have to wait until tomorrow for the daily candle close to be sure if that is potentially our, it looks like, but it's not confirmed yet. So if we close tomorrow, the next candle close, daily close, if we close tomorrow before below the 7k, then things will be pretty much confirmed, right? So that's basically what I'm looking for tomorrow. Okay, CME. Let's look at the CME chart. The CME chart is as you know, they're not trading today, and the most interesting thing is, once again, let me remove some of those indicators here to make it more clearly. Okay, so the CME chart, maybe I'll just remove this one as well. There's the CME chart. We actually on the 4 hour, we actually saw a bullish cross on the 4 hour, and that basically triggered this nice move up. And as you can see right now, there's no breakdown right now because nobody is trading, but if you can see here, this line, it's breaking down and crossing down, a bearish cross on the 4 hour chart. So similar like on the spot price, I do think that yeah, once the market start opening, we're most likely going to be trending downwards rather than upwards. And most likely, if you can see here, this red horizontal line that I've drawn, which is at 6,665, and as you know, there's some premium on the spot on the CME chart versus the spot price. So I do think that we'll be hovering somewhere around that price, which is on here on this daily chart, around my here, it's this 6,764. So like I said, I do expect us to be dropping down to around that zone pretty quickly today, most likely, if not tomorrow, but I think we're gonna get there today, and then we'll have a small bounce. And yeah, that's basically what I expect for today. So, and then here we'll have a small bounce from this spot here upwards, most likely to these two EMA lines here, and then most likely we'll start, you know, making our descent after the weekend. Next week will be not a good week, I think. From here, most likely we'll make a descent here. So those are the biggest the highest probabilities that I'm seeing, but this can also happen that we just break through this this zone here. So that's why this box here is the crucial box. That's the 7.1k. If we start closing price candles above this 7.1k, there's a very big chance, because there's very little resistance here, that we go all the way to like 7.8k. But once again, 7.8k or 8k, somewhere around there, we don't know. I don't have an exact idea about that, but somewhere around there, and that will be an ultimate short position for me, to be honest, because like I said, most likely from there we'll be dropping down anyways to wherever we're going to we're going to bottom out. But to be honest, it's not looking very good right now for Bitcoin. Let's go to some other smaller coins, leading coins. This is Ethereum, and as you can see here on the daily chart, we have resistance here on those same very similar on those red and blue lines here, where it's getting rejected right now, but it's still holding the EMA 21. So very similar to Bitcoin, it's still holding that EMA 21, but similar like Bitcoin. As you can see, most likely we'll be going a little bit lower as well for today on Ethereum, and then make another small bounce, I think, and then reject as well. Where do I think that will end up? Here, this red line most likely. So around the $132 is most likely what we're gonna be targeting next week or something like that. Next week or in the next 2 weeks. That's where I'm thinking that Ethereum is gonna go. So right now, macro perspective, Bitcoin doesn't look that great, but there's opportunity to be making some money either way. So nothing too much concerned about. I think right now we're gonna be ranging a little bit above this. Between this resistance and support here. So, but I still think we're gonna hit 6,750 area. That is where I'll be thinking about closing my short, and then reevaluate from there. Will I be going into a long? No, I'm not thinking. This is not the market to be trying to be a hero and joining along. I'll be thinking about shorting rather than longing. So a lot of couple of things that I wanted to tell is what I do look up on a daily basis as well is this is the Binance trading data that you can just check on the Binance site, and as you can see here, this is the top trader short and long ratio. And what is important is you can see here that their short accounts are still higher than their long accounts. And what I also see what in the current positions that they're in is, as you can see here, they are still more longing than shorting. So right now I don't think that we'll have a full breakdown just yet, but it's interesting to see that a lot of traders do expect a small bounce here, and that's what I do think will happen as well once we have most likely hit some support zone. But I think it's gonna be just creating a bearish pennant here, and we'll take it from there. But I wouldn't be surprised to be seeing this as well, so we have to be, the volume is very low during the weekend. So what whales can do during the weekend is just pump the price and just get everybody who is in short positions completely wrecked. So this is very important for me. Close your short, take your profits, wait and see if we do get rejection here, and if we do break this level here, then just short a little bit higher here. Well, not a little bit, it's quite higher here, around that like 7.7 or 7.8k. That's basically what my intention is for Bitcoin for the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. Another thing that that is very interesting to see is this here. That's the open interest chart on BitMEX, which is something that I'm checking also very regularly. And what I wanted to show is from here. As you can see here, this is very, very important. While price is going down, our open interest is actually going up higher. As you can see here, it keeps going up. So that means that people are very, very, very interested in this price right now because people are putting Bitcoin, and that also means that most likely continuation of our trend. I'll have this here. I'll just show you this here. See here, maybe I'll zoom in a little bit and you can see it better. So this is basically what I mean is, when price is going down and you see the volume going up, or the open interest going up, that means that the market is very weak, bearish, and the downtrend is most likely going to continue. So if the price is falling but the volume and the open interest is falling, that means that the downtrend will be weakening. So that's basically what I'm looking for, to see a reversal trend. And I've told you guys before already, while the price these last couple of I think weeks was rising, I was very, 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 very unsure about the price because the volume was falling and open interest was also falling, which means that the current uptrend is weakening and it's moderately bearish. So you can see what most likely is going to happen in the future. Another site that I'm using is Cryptometer, just to see the trend, because I want to. It's always fun to see how many millions that got wrecked. As you can see here, for 54 millions total longs got wrecked because of this dump that took place today. So another 54 million US dollars that that were just gone. So where do I think I think short term, that's all basically what I wanted to say today. Most likely we'll have this small ranging here and a little bit dropping more, and we'll see tomorrow if things worked out. Like did we touch this zone here of 6,750? Did we break this level here? Did we make a small bounce? Most likely we'll still make a small bounce, I think, because it's weekend and very low volume from here. But I still do think that this is the key area here that will have a little bit lower first, and then a small bounce, and then next week then there will be a lot more pain in terms if you are a bull, obviously. But yeah, for now, that's basically in the short term. That's what I'm thinking. In the long run, you have my opinion already. I do think that most likely we'll have a couple of months to go down and see if we can finally get some momentum going. But when people saying that this is a reversal, like I said, the volume is not matching the reversal pattern. What I want to see is, like I said, slowly increase of the volume while the price is going up, and this is definitely not the right volume. So yeah, we'll have to wait for a little bit longer, for a couple of months before we see better price action. Although I do believe that Bitcoin will have better days for sure. But right now, for the next couple of months, and this is not only Bitcoin, this is for the whole global market. As you can see, I've already told you guys about the S&P. This doesn't look good at all as well. So what if you are a long-term investor? The only thing that I can tell you guys is most likely hedge into gold. A lot of people are also just hedging into the dollar because the dollar is actually not doing that bad as well. Maybe we can take a look at the dollar as well. So the Dixie dollar currency index. So this is the dollar that has been ranging and still supporting. Let's go on to a weekly chart. That'll be better to see. As you can see on the weekly chart, it's holding steadily above the EMA 21, as long as and although the price is it's going a little bit lower, as long as this holds up above this 21, which I most likely think it will. Overall, as you can see, it has been slowly increasing over the past months, since a year, almost in the start of the year. So the dollar is actually not that bad of a currency to be having. It's doing a lot better than other currencies, I'm sure. So yeah, I think that in this pandemic, a lot of people are just moving into cash, of course, which is normal because people need money to be spending their basic